What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we need to talk about a topic that everybody keeps asking me, like, Barry, we know who the first E5s are we should build. You done like some tier lists, you've told us the best ones to go for. Sometimes there's an argument between the top 5, who's at 1, who's at 5, sometimes they swap, depending on the person. Everybody's got personal preferences, but there's one hero that I think everybody can agree on is probably the best second E5 hero, granted, as long as you don't build him as your first E5. And that hero is going to be Tix. Tix is by far one of the strongest heroes in the game, useful in ridiculous numbers of game modes. We're going to go through each one of them and tell you why he is probably the best second E5 hero. I think everybody should try to build him, maybe not even second, but third, just depending on how you get hero copies. But he's going to give you the most progress on your account beyond any other hero. Yes, even Transcended heroes. He's going to give you the most progress. So let's jump into the game and explain why he is so good. So, first things first, yes, he is a mage in the Shadow faction for those of you who are newer to the game, but we do need to go over why he is such a strong hero and why he is a future-proof hero, because a lot of people, as we've been saying, is, you know, artifacts, stellar shards, they're all more important than hero copies nowadays, except for Tix, kind of. Tix here is insane. Let's go over his active ability just so you guys understand why he's kind of future-proof. Unless a better version of him comes out, he's going to always be there for a lot of this progression meta. Well, the active ability deals 800% attack against 4 random enemies, dealing extra damage by 800% of the target's attack, not his attack. And no, there's no cap on that damage. It is 800% of the target's attack while stealing target's 25% of attack for 3 rounds. Whew. Yes, you steal up to 4 targets attack, but you're doing damage based on the enemy's attack. And in things like Vortex and Aspen Dungeon, where the enemy's attack and HP just keep scaling up higher and higher, this attack actually keeps scaling up higher and higher as well. And not only is it the active ability, but it is also the basic ability too. Basic attack targets the enemy with the highest attack, dealing 180% of Tix's attack, then an extra 600% of the target's attack. And now that's not all. It goes up higher, 1,000 at V2, and at V4 you're doing 1,200% of the target's attack. Just absolutely crazy damage numbers. Now, if you're looking on how to build your Tix, we do have a Tix guide. I'll put a link in the description as well, a hero guide. It has changed a little bit. Nowadays, you're going to want to run a full resonance set gear for your Tix. So you're not going to want to run like a 1-3 split gear setup anymore. You're going to want to be coming over here. You're going to come into resonance set, and you're going to want to get him a full mage set of gear. So you're going to want to make sure the resonance hero enhancement is Tix on the weapon, on the armor, and most likely on the accessory. Now, the shoes, it doesn't really matter. It's the least important. Speed doesn't really matter to Tix. He's going to be a lot slower than a lot of heroes in the meta. He has around 1,600 speed. It's nothing amazing when you look at some other heroes in the game that are, you know, like more relevant, like carries are up in the 1,700s. Transcendence heroes are even higher up. So that is something to remember. As far as stones go, typically you're going to want to run him with a holy attack for most game modes. Now, when we are talking about Vortex, you're probably going to want to hunt for a crit attack stone, because that one is best in slot for him. You really want to crit. And the other thing that's really important is getting an upgraded Punisher staff. Now, you can do certain game modes with a regular Punisher staff, not even Ormus upgraded. But if you really want to be pushing progression and not have to worry about luck too much, Splendid Punisher staff is kind of required on a lot of these heroes when you're talking about the Void Vortex. Besides that, though, enabling, you usually just want to run him offensive, no speed enables like that. His one skin that he does have has control immunity, HP, and speed. None of them that actually really matter for most game modes that he's in. And of course, imprinting him is probably one of the best ideas early on in the early game. So, where does he thrive and why is he the best second E5? Well, Sealand, he actually does pretty decent in. He can get Sealand 20 done with an upgraded Kiss of Ghost. So if you have 2 Kiss of Ghost, you can get CLAN 20 done with some CC heroes. And the CC heroes don't even have to be that good. You can use heroes like Jara. You can use heroes like Walter, Kamath, Ice Trolls. Any combination of those, especially if you have some energy artifacts, it becomes very, very easy to clear. It's really amazing. And the reason why you want to have an upgraded Kiss of Ghost, where am I looking at? Here we go. Upgraded Kiss of Ghost is because when the hero releases an active or basic attack, it will restore him based on a % of his for damage dealt to HP. It's lower for the lower tiers of this, but it essentially keeps him alive long enough to get multiple actives off, and then he can eventually get CLAN 20 done. So he's kind of up there. He can do it solo with some basic support. Granted, you need some stellar shards and void imprints on him, and you need an upgraded artifact. When it comes to Tower of Oblivion, he is by far the strongest hero in the game for Tower of Oblivion. If you even have a 9-star or 10-star, he is still amazing. Why? Because in Tower of Oblivion, your team always goes first. The enemy team does not get to go before any of your heroes. So you're going to want to run energy artifacts on him. Make sure you get an active off round 1, kill some targets off, and therefore they're not retaliating with more attacks. It becomes a lot easier. The second we got ticks in the game, this list became very big of people who have clear level 650, and at this point it's like it's like everybody. If you have a 9 or 10-star ticks with some other E5s, you can get it done. If you have an E5 ticks, you can essentially get every wave except for the Mim waves completely finished. Now, one of the most important ones here is going to be Aspen Dungeon. He is the god of Aspen Dungeon. Like, he's on par with like Scarlet Queen and Swordflash Shia. He might even be better, honestly. It's really hard to tell because they have a really easy time when you run them with Augustus Magic Balls, whereas with Ticks, you run him extremely offensive with an upgraded Punisher Staff or regular one. It just depends on how many Void Imprints you have. And he is going to get you Death 100 very, very easy. Now, there's a few waves you have to dodge, mainly any waves with Adas in them. If you do come across waves with Oberons, with Pennies, with Amun-Ra's, things like that, you might need to use Demon Potions and use a round 1 active. Against Oberons, you definitely need an active in round 1 if you're going against like a quad Oberon wave. If you're going against a wave that has Pennies in it, you have to have an active round 1 to kill it. Or if it's the Rainbow Penny wave where there's only 1 penny, she actually has the highest attack, I think is what he goes for, right? He hits her guaranteed, kills her. You're pretty much good. But anything with double penny, you're absolutely going to need energy to kill him off. Otherwise, you're going to kill yourself on the penny reflect damage. Besides that, though, Adas are heroes that are very, very difficult for him to kill. But besides that, he really doesn't have any weaknesses because his basic attack deals so much damage when you have void imprints on him. He will be doing, already 400% of his attack, which is not that low of a number, plus extra damage by 1000% of the targets, and then also reduces their attack by 50%. So like between the active and the passive, you lower the damage incoming to you so significantly, especially on the 1 and 2 hero waves. Plus, if you do have an upgraded Punisher Staff, he does amazingly at farming solo and duo waves to get energy, and then you save him, you put him on the bench, use your other heroes, use him when you need an active. It's just absolutely amazing. The only other game mode we really need to talk about is Void Vortex. So PvP, he can actually work decently well. He's not horrible, he's decent, he's good, he can make things work, but Void Vortex is where this man shines the most. And you're gonna want a specific setup, but just know he is by far the best #1 hero in Void Vortex. The other heroes you're gonna want, of course, is gonna be a Scarlet Queen. You're gonna want an Ignis or 2, and then you're also gonna want some upgraded Demon Bells. Having heroes like Amun-Ra, Rogan, and Carry on your account are going to be really great utility heroes based on the enemies you're facing. But Void Vortex, you're going to need 1, maybe even 2 ticks. You're going to want to get upgraded Punisher Staffs and then Prophet. If you do have 1 ticks, you should be able to get up to Explore, but once you get past Explore, you're really going to need a more fine-tuned setup. But if he is your second E5 hero, it will help you progress in Vortex an absolute ton, which is going to increase your Stellar Shard income and do a lot of great things. So hopefully this helped you guys out. If you guys think there's another better second E5 to build, let me know, but I highly doubt it. Ticks, best second E5 in the game, hands down. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you take 1 second, hit that subscribe button. and I'll see you guys next time.